Have you ever caught yourself thinking, why does this always happen to me? Or maybe you felt like no matter what you do, life is stacked against you. If so, you're not alone. But the truth is, staying stuck in that kind of thinking is like locking yourself in a mental prison. The good news, you can hold the key. Today, I'm going to walk you through how the victim mindset develops, how it shows up in adulthood, and most importantly, how to finally break free from it so you can create the life you deserve. So, what is the victim mindset? The victim mindset isn't about having bad things happen to you. Bad things happen to all of us. The mindset comes in when you start believing you're powerless, that your circumstances dictate everything, and that you have no ability to change your future. It's a difference between saying life is happening to me versus life is happening to me. One closes every door, the other opens possibilities. If you don't break free from the victim mindset, it quietly shapes your entire life. It influences the relationships you choose, the risks you take, and even the goals you don't pursue. Over time, it convinces you that this is just who I am. But that's not true. You can step out of it. Now, like most patterns, the victim mindset usually traces back to childhood. Our earliest years lay down the foundation for how we see ourselves and the world. Let's look at some common ways this mindset develops. First is overprotective parents. When a parent rushes to solve every problem, the child never gets to learn resilience. Instead of, I can figure this out, the child learns, I can't do anything on my own. Research has shown that overprotection fosters emotional insecurity and a sense of helplessness. As adults, these children often freeze when faced with challenges because deep down, they believe they aren't capable. The second is constant criticism. Children who are constantly criticized, no matter how well intentioned the parent, internalize the belief, I'm not good enough. That feeling of inadequacy can quickly turn into victim thinking. Instead of asking, what can I do differently? They ask, why does this always happen to me? Criticism conditions them to blame circumstances instead of believing in their ability to change. Third is neglect or abuse. Neglect doesn't always mean physical abuse or abandonment. It can also be emotional neglect. Maybe a parent was physically present but emotionally unavailable. As a child, that feels like being invisible, powerless, or unworthy. Over time, those feelings can harden into the belief that the world is against me. If this is hitting home and you want structured guidance to rebuild your inner foundation, check out my self-esteem course, The Confidence Key and Power of Positive Thinking. Inside, I walk you step by step through identifying and reframing the beliefs that feed victim thinking, rebuilding self-trust with small, repeatable wins, daily mindset tools, affirmations, journaling prompts, micro actions to install a stronger inner voice. If you're ready to stop outsourcing your power and start creating momentum, these trainings will help you do the inner work. Practically, not perfectly. You'll find the links in the description. Fourth is modeling what you see. Children don't just listen, they absorb. If a caregiver constantly complains, blames, or plays the victim, children unconsciously adopt that same way of seeing the world. For example, I have a friend whose parents were always stuck in a woe is me mentality. Even though he wanted to be different, he found himself slipping into the same patterns until he became aware of it and started actively working to break free. Childhood lays the foundation, but the teenage years pour concrete over it. A few key experiences can strengthen the victim mentality, like bullying. Kids who are targeted often develop the belief that they are powerless or destined to be hurt. Academic or social pressures, struggling to keep up or to fit in, can create feelings of inadequacy. Instead of realizing everyone develops differently, he might conclude, I'll never be good enough. Another is comparisons. With social media today, many teens constantly compare themselves and end up feeling less than. That sense of falling short feeds into victim thinking. So how does this show up later in life? Psychologist Dr. Tracy Marks outlines 5 common signs. A consistently negative tone, everything feels like life is against you, asking why me constantly, why do I always get hurt, and why does nothing work out? Rumination, overthinking, but always about the negative, low self-worth, being your own harshest critic and convincing yourself you don't deserve good things, resentment, feeling bitter or jealous when others succeed. And on top of that, you'll often see blaming others for every setback, avoiding accountability, chronic pessimism, learned helplessness, the belief that no matter what you do, nothing changes. I know this one personally. In my younger years, I had a heavy victim mindset. I would find flaws in everything, blaming circumstances, and convince myself that I just wasn't meant for more. It wasn't until I recognized these patterns that I realized I was keeping myself stuck. And here's the real trap. The victim mindset gives the illusion of safety. If nothing is your fault, then you don't have to risk failing. But it also means you never grow. It's like locking yourself in a cage and throwing away the key, when in reality, the door was never locked to begin with. The longer you stay in that mindset, the harder it feels to escape. And that's why awareness is the first and most powerful step. So how do you actually shift it? So let's go step by step. First is awareness. You can't change what you don't admit. Start noticing the language you use. Do you often say, I can't, it's not fair, this always happens to me? These are clues. Write them down when they come up. Awareness shines a light on the pattern. Second is challenge your thoughts. Once you notice them, don't let them slide. Question them. Cognitive behavioral therapy calls this cognitive reframing. If you think, I can't do this, challenge it with, what evidence do I have that I can't? Have I tried? Could I learn? Try opposite thinking too. Replace I'll fail with I can learn and improve. The point isn't faking positivity. It's proving to yourself that your old beliefs don't hold up under scrutiny. And third is taking responsibility. This one is tough but essential. What happened to you as a child wasn't your fault, but healing and moving forward is your responsibility. I've talked with countless people who are still blaming their parents, their past, or their circumstances decades later. That's giving away your power. The past is fixed. You can't rewrite it, but you can decide how you live today and tomorrow. Fourth is surround yourself with growth-minded people. Victim mindset feeds off negativity and enabling. So you need people around you who won't let you fall back into old patterns. Positive, supportive relationships are important, but equally important are friends who will lovingly challenge you when you start slipping into why me mode. Ask yourself, are the people around me getting better themselves? Growth is contagious. Fifth, daily practices to rewire your mind. Breaking free isn't a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. And here are 3 powerful tools. First is breath work. A few minutes of intentional breathing grounds you and calms the nervous system. Second is meditation. Even 5 minutes can create space between you and your thoughts. And third is affirmations. Repetition rewires. Say things like, I am in control of my life. My past is not my fault, but my present is my responsibility. I am capable of creating a better future. Do these first thing in the morning, and over time, you'll notice your inner dialogue shifting. Having a victim mindset doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. Many of us were conditioned into it. But once you become aware, it's your job to break the cycle. Remember, you are not powerless. You are not defined by your past. You do have the ability to rewrite your story. The victim mindset is common, but it's not permanent unless you allow it to be. The moment you decide to step out of it, you begin stepping into your true potential. So my challenge for you today, catch one victim thought. When it comes up, write it down and reframe it. Small steps, repeated daily, lead to big transformations. And as always, stay positive, friends.